Welcome back to Playing Life Right. I'm Kevin Ross.
I'm Matt Floyd, and Kevin, I have to tell you something before we start.
That's never good.
I did the thing. Last night I sat down and I actually read my 401k statement instead of just glancing at the total and closing the tab.
Well, that was brave.
And there's this little line at the bottom, pre-tax balance. And I thought, wait, pre-tax, as in I haven't paid tax on any of this yet.
That would be correct.
As in the number I've been feeling good about for 15 years isn't actually my number.
Well, it's the government's number too, you know. You just don't find out what their cut is until later.
How much later?
For most people listening, it's age 73 on the dot, whether you really thought about it or not.
That's oddly specific for the IRS.
Yeah, they've actually moved the number around twice in the last few years. So even specific really is relative now. But yeah, 73. And the thing that gets people really isn't the tax bill itself.
Oh, what is it?
It's that there's a trap baked, into a deadline that can hit you with two of these bills in the same year by accident, just from trying to do the smart thing.
Okay, now I'm annoyed and haven't even heard the details yet.
Well, that's the right reaction. Today, the RMD, what it is, the trap inside, the deadline almost nobody warned you about, and the window you have right now to fuse the whole thing before it ever goes off. Okay, so let's get back here. Every dollar in a traditional 401k or IRA went in before tax. You got a deduction the year you put it in, which lowered your taxable income.
And that feels like a gift at the time.
Really, it was a loan.
Okay, that's a different way to think about my retirement account than I was expecting today.
Well, think about it. The IRS let you skip the tax now on the condition that you pay it eventually. And guess what? It's on their schedule, not yours. So it's not a gift, really. It's financing.
Right. With an interest rate of what exactly?
Well, whatever your tax bracket happens to be the year they
Double
make
digits,
you pull
minimum.
the money out. Yeah. And then, it's really the part that nobody's really negotiated.
Right. So walk me through the actual mechanics of that. Age 73 arrives, then what happens?
The IRS requires you to withdraw a minimum amount every year.
A distribution.
There you go. Required. Calculated off your balance and a life expectancy table. And here's where it gets interesting. You don't actually have to take that first one by your birthday.
So you get like a grace period?
Yeah, you get actually to April 1st of the following year for that first one only.
Okay.
And after that, it's every year it's due by December 31st with no extensions.
Well, that sounds like a nice little cushion. Why do I feel like you're setting me up here? You do that a lot.
Well, because that cushion's exactly how people accidentally don't detonate two RMDs in the same calendar year.
So how do they actually do that?
All right. So say you turn 73 in 2026.
Okay.
And you think, great, I've got until April 2027. There's no rush. But your second RMD, the normal one, for that year you turned 74, is still due December 31st, 2027.
So if I kick that can down the road till April of next year.
Yeah, you take the RMD number one in April 27.
Okay.
And then you take the number two by December of 2027. Same year, both taxable, stacked on top of each other.
That's not a grace period. That's a trap with a grace period's name tag on.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Actually, I like that. And look, the penalty if you somehow still manage to miss one entirely is 25% of what should have withdrawn. knocked down to 10 if you fix it within 2 years.
So the IRS has thought through every door on this room except the one marked. I had no idea.
Yeah, there is no door marked that. All right, here's the part that catches people who think they've already done the math. An RMD doesn't show up by itself. It lands on top of whatever else you're already collecting that year.
Like Social Security?
Yeah, Social Security, maybe a pension, maybe your spouse is taking RMDs of their own from a separate account.
So it's not, here's a number, deal with it. It's here's a number that's about to push everything else you're already getting into a higher bracket.
Exactly that. And then it compounds because the RMD calculation grows most years, even if your account balance doesn't move. And that's because of the divisor in the formula shrinks as you age. That's that actuarial table.
Wait, so hang on, say that again, because it sounds like you just said the bill goes up even if I don't make any more money on the account.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
That feels like it shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, well, it's allowed. It's the whole design that the IRS, they want that account drained over your remaining years, not parked there forever.
Yeah, another reason why they got rid of the stretch IRA.
Yep. So I had a client, I'll change his name, we'll call him Michael, and I actually got this one a little wrong with him the first time around, which is sort of the point of this story.
You got something wrong? The only time it ever happened, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure. I looked at the Social Security and figured he had his tax picture mostly handled. He's been retired 3 years, seems settled in. What I hadn't run yet was that his RMDs were going to do once they kicked in, 2 years later from now.
So even you almost missed it.
Yeah, I almost missed it because it doesn't feel urgent when you're 68. It feels urgent at 73, which is exactly when it's too late to do the thing that would have made it small.
And that's the whole problem in one sentence, honestly.
All right, so here's what we actually did for Michael once I caught it. When someone retires and when RMDs start, you call it the throw years. Income is usually at its lowest point of their entire retirement.
Because the paycheck's gone and the RMDs haven't started yet.
Right, which means the tax brackets are the widest they'll ever be relative to what you actually need to report. That window to convert some of that traditional money into a Roth. So what you do is you pay the tax now at a low rate on your terms instead of later at a rate that the market and the calendar pick for you.
Okay, I want to push on this because I feel like every show in this space says, just do a Roth conversion, like it's a magic password.
That's fair.
Isn't there a real chance someone converts too much, jumps up to the next bracket and just, pays the IRS early for no reason?
Yeah, that happens constantly, actually.
So I'm not wrong to be a little suspicious of that blanket advice.
Yeah, you're not wrong at all. The mistake isn't converting. It's converting without knowing exactly where your bracket ceiling is and where the IRMA cliff from a couple of weeks ago sits on top of that. You got to convert to fill the bracket you're already in. Okay. Stop before you spill into the next one. That's really the whole skill set here.
So it's less convert and more, convert with that ruler in your hand.
Yeah, that's a better way to say it than how I had it written down, honestly. I'll give you that.
Well, there's also a charity angle here, right? I feel like I've heard something about giving directly from an IRA.
Yeah, you can do a qualified charitable distribution, and this is one of the stranger quirks in the whole code. You can start doing those at 70 and a half, okay?
70 and a half, not 73.
Yeah, not 73. Yeah, right? Why would they? Different rule, never got updated to match the new RMD age.
Of course.
So there's a 2.5 year stretch where you can give straight from the IRA to charity tax-free before RMDs even start.
That's almost a glitch.
It is a glitch that nobody's bothered fixing. And if you're charitably inclined, it's free money sitting on the table. Okay, so let's get back to Michael. 67, just retired, 400,000 or so in the IRA. Social Security hadn't started. He was holding off.
He's waiting until 70.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was holding off to maximize it.
Which means that year his income was about as low as it was ever going to be.
Yeah, lowest it had been in decades, actually. Yeah. So when we ran the numbers and found out he had room to convert somewhere in the 40 to 50,000 range a year without spilling into the next bracket. Good.
Well, for how long can he do that?
So he had 6 years before RMDs would have started. So call it $240,000 to $300,000. Moved over to a Roth at the cheapest tax rate he was ever going to see again.
And the version of Michael who does nothing, what happens to him?
He had 73 with a full balance, still sitting pre-tax. First RMD lands. He'd also delayed it to that April deadline that we talked about earlier, which a lot of people do instinctively because why rush? He could have stacked 2 RMDs into 1 year on top of security.
So the version of him who didn't act could have walked straight into the trap, from the cold open.
Almost walked into it without ever knowing that the trap existed. That's what happens to many people.
That's a good trap, though. That's the perfect trap. Can I be honest? Part of me still wonders if we're overselling how much this matters for the person with like 150,000 in their account. Not everyone's Michael. I mean, they wish they could be, but they're not him.
Right. Well, that's fair. I mean, and it's worth saying plainly, if your balance is small, the dollar stakes are smaller too. So nobody needs to lose sleep over $4,000 RMD, right?
Right.
But the mechanisms are the same regardless of any size that you got. And the planning costs nothing whether you got 100,000, 400,000, or even $1 million. So even if the dollars are modest, there's no reason not to look.
Okay, I'll take that.
So if you're setting between 60 and 73 right now, this conversation is about you today. Not someday, but today. The Roth is open. It closes, the RMD start, and it doesn't really need to reopen.
And if you're already past 73, is this just sorry, should have called 5 years ago episode?
No, there's still real work that you can do. You got to coordinate the timing of the withdrawal using QCDs if you're charitable, watching the IRMA interaction every year.
That's a big one.
The options do narrow, but they don't disappear.
So too late isn't really a thing here. It's more, you got less room than you had.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Here's the move this week. PlanLifeRight.com. Take the retirement income scorecard. It's free. 7 minutes max. One of the things it surfaces is whether your plan accounts for the tax that's sitting inside your balance and waiting.
Because the number on the statement and the number you actually get to keep are two different numbers. And most people have never been shown that gap that exists between them.
PlanLifeRight.com. Go see the gap before the IRS shows it to you.
An advisor's quick gut check. When you see a big pre-tax IRA on someone's balance sheet, is your first instinct to admire the balance or to start the clock on the window?
Look, it needs to be the clock every single time because the balance is the thing the last advisor probably already congratulated them on. The window is the conversation nobody's had with them yet.
And that's the conversation that actually changes the outcome.
That's right. AdvisorRescue.net. We'll walk you through how to map the window, model the conversation map, and have the conversation in a way that the client actually remembers it a year later. Okay, next week we leave your accounts alone for a minute and go after your zip code instead.
Oh, my zip code did nothing to you.
Your zip code might be quietly costing you $200,000. So I'd argue it's done plenty.
Okay, now I have to know.
Next week, the slate that could save your retirement $200,000 and why almost no one treats where I live like the financial decision that it actually is. Life happens fast.
Make sure your income is ready for it.
I'm Kevin Ross.
And I'm Matt Floyd.
This is Plan Life Right.